The Lakers and Timberwolves faced off in Game 1 of the 2025 playoffs first round, and not only was it a high-level matchup, but it also gave us a clear look at how both teams play and how they can challenge each other. Minnesota came out on top, but this is just the beginning of a long chess match that's going to play out over multiple games. Today, we're breaking it all down with the help of game footage. The Lakers switched a lot on the T-Wolves screens, and in the first stages of the game, Minnesota didn't know how to attack in these situations. That's what forced many turnovers and let the Lakers have an initial lead. In this play, McDaniels makes two mistakes. First, he doesn't read the Edwards-Reaves mismatch and screens the Lakers guard away. This way, LeBron can switch on Ant. Second, he cuts to an already crowded paint after the screen instead of relocating in the corner. So Reaves can now help on Edwards' penetration, while the paint is inaccessible. Ant-Man doesn't see that Gobert is doing a hammer screen for Conley, who would have an open three, and throws it towards Randle, who can't catch it. Here's another example. The idea of forcing Doncic to go against Randle is right, but there's another poor read to mess this play up. And that is Gobert screening away the mismatch and putting Randle in a tough situation. So Finch found three possible adjustments to counter the switching defense. The first one is rejecting the screen. By doing that, the two defenders involved in the pick-and-roll action are cut off, and the defense has to help. So two shooters are open. The next one is with ghost screens. That's exactly what Conley does here. Reaves thinks he should switch, while Hachimura doesn't. This is what triggers the help and generates the advantage for the offense, ultimately capitalized by McDaniels. The third one is attacking Reaves with bigger players. McDaniels is one of them, and he did so. Here, Vanderbilt should have probably helped his teammate and flooded the strong side of the court. But he didn't. In this play, Minnesota executes a DiVincenzo Reed pick-and-roll with the only purpose of forcing Reaves to guard the T-Wolves' big man. When the former sixth man of the year receives, Doncic seems ready to help, maybe with a double team. But the position he has in this play doesn't help Reaves much, since Reed backs him down until the Lakers guard has to foul him. The Lakers had a couple of adjustments to protect Reaves defensively. One of them was double-teaming on the ball. Here, the Wolves make sure Reaves gets on Randle. He fights to not let the former Knick receive, and he waits for Doncic to come. Once the pass is thrown, the Slovenian goes to double and forces Randle to commit an offensive foul. Here, Minnesota forces Reaves to go against Randle again, thanks to an off-screen wing action they ran a lot during this game. This time, LeBron is the man who has to help on Randle. The T-Wolves big make the right read in finding McDaniels open, but Vincent is late on the closeout and Reaves doesn't rotate at all, so the wing can score an easy 2. Same action as we saw earlier with Reed that wants to post up Reaves again. Notice how Minnesota clears the strong side to let their big man work. In this particular play, Hayes is on the court and can be a better helper than Doncic and LeBron. He commits a 3-second violation, But Redick's idea isn't bad at all. The Lakers' defense against Edwards' isolations was to sit in the gaps. Here you see Vincent doing so, but Finch already had a counter, since Reed cuts and take away the help. Another isolation. Vincent is in the gap again, but this time there's Vanderbilt too. That's why Reed cuts once again and sets a pin-down screen for Randle, who can take an open three since the Lakers wing was focused on Ant-Man and wasn't aware of what was happening behind him. Here, there's Vincent once again in the gap, with the wingman who cuts as usual. Reed then relocates, knowing his defender's focus is on the ball. So what should Redick do in Game 2 to have better chance to tie the series? I'll tell you in a second, but first let me remind you that if you want to see original content about basketball, you can follow me on IG. There, you'll have a more direct contact with me, and you'll find posts on various basketball topics treated with a scientific approach, something extra you won't find here on YouTube. Thank you to those who'll support me on that platform too. Now we can get back to the possible Game 2 adjustments. I expect less minutes for Reaves, whose impact offensively doesn't match how he hurts the team defense. He was constantly targeted by the Timberwolves, so I would either reduce his minutes or make him play more during bench minutes and less with the starters. While I'd personally give more minutes to Jackson Hayes. He can reduce the physical gap between these two teams, be the reliable rebounder the Lakers don't have right now, and help with rim protection. He's also the best helper on the team. His presence alone could reduce the effectiveness of the Timberwolves' mismatch hunting strategy. And he would also allow Redick to use a 2-3 zone that could cause some problems to Finch's team offense, which also relies on pace, rhythm, and isolations. When Hayes is not on the floor and Gobert is, I'd use a lot more pick-and-pop actions with Hachimura as the pop man. Gobert usually drops and Reed doesn't want to give up the mismatch, so the Japanese remains open. Lastly, there are no Lakers players Conley could consistently guard except for Vincent. I don't know why he wasn't as targeted as Reaves was during Game 1. Here, Hachimura posts him up with Gobert that can't help because Hayes is a lob threat. So the Timberwolves have stolen the home court advantage and are ready to send a message to those who saw the Lakers as the heavy favorites, while Redick's team has to win Game 2 to keep the series balanced. This was all you needed to know about Game 1. If you want to support my work, you can like this video and subscribe to my channel. And I remind you again that you can find my IG profile's link in the description. Thanks for watching and see you in the next video.